show respect to the squad, that's a big up. I want my money in the grave, first we gotta dig up. They know exactly who I am.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Bakerboy along with
the greatest rapper under 30 years old, Young Cicero. How you guys doing?
you already know, and we back with another M&O hot topic. And we're finna do something that's gonna involve the ladies right now, and I want to hear you guys' opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're gonna talk about gender roles. And what I want to lead off with is that I feel like a lot of times guys get put in certain situations where they're forced to have to be the man. And you hear a lot of women talk about what guys need to be doing this and they gotta have money and this and that, but I don't think what gets taken into consideration is the fact that we're in a generation now where women want equality,
Power.
which I totally agree with. I understand.
100.
If a woman is doing the same job as a man, she should get paid the same amount of money. You should be get paid by your qualifications and your ability to do the job.
Yep.
What I don't agree with is that the man still gets put in a position or looked at as to have to be the provider and this and that, which is fine. I understand. As a man, I want to be the provider. But now that same man has to compete with other women for the same job. When back in the day, it was easy for the man to be the provider. The man went to work, the woman stayed home. He provided. She took care of the house, the children, everything.
Yeah.
It was a team effort because taking care of the home is not a diss to no woman.
That's actually harder than working a job.
That's harder than working a job. Any woman who holds down the crib and then when her man works and gets to come home to a nice crib, a dinner and meal, and the kids all good, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
You know what
definitely.
I mean? So, but I think now we have a lot of women who don't want to do those things, but yet they want to go out and work and have their own, but then yet they don't understand that now the man not only has to compete against other men, but now he has to compete against other women.
Too. Yeah.
So it's harder now than it ever been for men to be in a position to lead, to be head of household. That same job that back in the day was considered a man's job, now I have to compete with men and women for the same job. What you think about that?
I think it's because women want more independence. Women want to be way more independent than they've ever been, and they know to be independent they need to have the power. Because you can't really be independent being a quote unquote housewife. You know what I mean? You can't do that. And I think women, I won't even say women, I think the human race in general, we're too caught up in giving the power to one gender. We're too caught up in allowing men to be the provider, when in reality, it doesn't have to be the man providing for the house or the woman providing for the house. It could be the man and women providing for the same house.
Exactly.
So women, back to what you were saying about a man working and a woman being a housewife, that was a team. It could still be a team with both of you providing, both of you working jobs, both of you being house parents instead of a housewife or a house man or house husband. It could be house parents. Y'all both go to work. Y'all both provide. That's not only is going to be happy, the woman will be happier that way. You'll probably be financially happier that way too, because you're not getting one source of income. Now you have another source of income.
Exactly.
So the woman has independence. She's got power, but she also feels like she can come home to a team at the same time. I think that's what women are searching for. I don't think they're necessarily searching to be completely alone.
And what I've been in situations, and even in my current situation, sometimes I go back and forth with, I understand, and I think it's great to have a man and a woman who both are bringing in incomes. But I don't think the woman should have to feel like she has to do that and come home and do everything else. No, because if you out there working, to me, I'm the dude who understands. Take a rest. I got it. You know what I mean? Let me help you out. Let me do this, or vice versa. You know what I mean? But I think we're in a time where everybody just assumes the man's supposed to be doing this. And if he's not, he ain't handling his business. Or if the woman ain't doing this and doing that, she's not handling their business. And to me, what happened to being a union, a team, working it out together? Whatever works for you works for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's lost, and especially in this whole social media world, because you see it time and time again. All of these girls talking about dudes need to have this, he need to have this type of car, this type of job, blase, blase, blase. But then you got the same women who want to go out and get the same job.
Yep.
I don't understand that.
And I got one question for all the people out there. For people who say a man is supposed to be doing this or a woman is supposed to be doing this, supposed to who?
Bingo.
Like, who says that a man's supposed to do that or a woman's supposed to do that? And then a woman says, oh, well, or a guy says, oh, that's just how I feel. And it's like, is that really how you feel, or you feel that way because you're hearing people say that they're supposed to be doing that?
Bingo. And
Because
half of the people you see saying that, they probably single.
Yeah, majority of them probably saying a man's supposed to. Yo, girl, I can't be with a guy if he ain't doing this. But who told you that? Society told you that. You probably don't actually believe that. You just care too much about what society thinks, so that's why you think it. But it's like supposed to who? There's no rules. Run your house however you want to run your house. Work wherever you want to work. Bring whatever income you want to bring in. There's no rules to none of that.
And don't make the other person feel bad for the position that they're in.
Exactly.
Because
the income doesn't have to be the same, man.
not at all. Like, some guys have said that, they couldn't have a woman who made more money than them. Or I've heard women say that their man has to make more money than them. To me, if you're a team, why do it matter?
Why does it matter?
You know what I mean?
Those are the people who feel like money buys happiness when it doesn't. Like, Jay-Z's a billionaire, right?
Oh, I'm glad you brought up Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's a billionaire, right? And he's with a woman that could easily be a billionaire on her own, right? I don't know, but I'm going to assume that he financially has more money than Beyonce. Let's say the roles are reversed. You think Jay-Z's going to care? And I think all men should be that way, because I'm pretty sure Jay-Z doesn't care.
Bro, I saw a post, and this is why I said I'm glad that you brought that up. I saw a post one time, and the discussion was, who made who? Did Jay-Z make Beyonce's career and all of this other stuff? And I'm like, who cares? They are a team.
Power couple, man. It doesn't matter.
When I see them,
they were both great
couple.
Before they got together.
Bro, if you look it up right now, and of course this is Wikipedia, internet, Google, whatever. It says that Jay-Z is worth $1 billion.
Okay.
And Beyonce is almost $500 million.
Okay. So now, why are we being picky?
1.5.
Yeah, why are we being picky about that? Like,
you know what I mean? Like, to me, at the end of the day, why do we have to, and a lot of women do this. Oh, well, she helped him get to where he was at.
Nah.
I'm
they helped each other get to where they're at now. Yeah. Instead of because Jay-Z was one of the best rappers ever before he got with Beyonce. Beyonce was one of the greatest singers before they got together. Now they got together. They're a power couple. They've elevated each other by being together. It doesn't. Their financial stuff does not matter at all.
And to me, that is what's so attractive about their relationship.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize it. Tom Brady and Giselle. Tom Brady to me. And this is what's funny to me.
Giselle makes more than Tom Brady. People don't know that.
Way more than Tom Brady.
Way more than Tom Brady. The greatest quarterback of all time. Greatest quarterback of all time to ever throw a football makes less money than his wife. Majority of people who don't even watch football probably don't even know his wife.
Bingo.
Probably don't even know who Giselle is. And she makes way more than him.
Tom Brady is the classic quarterback. He is married to a supermodel billionaire wife. That's what the quarterback's supposed to have.
Yeah, that's the whole image that's painted when the girl's on a cheerleading team and the guy wears the varsity jersey. That's that image that is painted. They just took it to marriage and having a family. They took it further. You know what I mean? But people don't know that she makes way more than the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's why when they say, "Oh, he's one of the most underpaid quarterbacks in NFL," even though he's the most successful and has won the most Super Bowls, I laugh.
Yeah,
because you know how much his wife is worth.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Doesn't matter.
And I think, just like you just said, we've all been taught that the quarterback, he gets the girl, but they assume that the quarterback is the one that's bringing in all of the money.
Nah, which isn't true.
Not true.
Bringing in a lot, but not all of it.
If you look at reality, that's not what really happens in real life. But a lot of times I think, and I read a lot of these different message boards, and that's what people think.
You think Gabrielle Union makes more money than D-Wade?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because if she does, that's another example right there.
I'm telling you, and
franchise cornerstone of a whole city, our city, Miami. It's very possible that his wife, who's an actress, has probably made more money than him. I don't know. I'm not looking it up. I'm literally just freestyling the topic, but it is possible. And if it is true, so what?
But what's funny about that is it's still, and that brings me back to the narrative that men need to be doing this and need to be doing that. When at the end of the day, both people need to be on their boss grind.
They need to be doing what makes them happy.
Yeah. And if both people are on their boss grind, helping each other, then somebody's going to be successful. You know what I mean? It takes a team. So I think a lot of times we need to be careful at following the narratives. And we're going to hear that word a lot on this show. Because I teach multimedia, and we study social media and the narratives of what they want people to think and believe. A lot of people buy into,
Yeah.
and it's not what's really happening. If your girl is making a whole lot of money, hold it down at the crib, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure when she get home, she ain't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and if support her, be that backbone for her, get what you got to get done too as well. But at the same time, don't look at her or look at it as you're less of a man or no.
If you the type of man that can hold a house down, that makes you a man too.
Bro.
That doesn't make you less of a man, bro. You know what makes you less of a man? When you realize that when the woman realizes she doesn't need you at all because she's independent before she got to you. And now she could be independent without you. She's with you because she wants to be with you, not because of your financial success. So you shouldn't be worrying about the money you make. You shouldn't be worrying about the money you pull in. If she has a huge job, like let's say a supermodel marries some regular schmegular guy, right? He holds the house down. He's just as much of a man as she is of a woman. But if he doesn't hold the house down and he just soaks up all her money, she's gonna leave. Because she can be independent without you. She doesn't need you. That's what women want. They don't want to be stuck in a situation where they have to be with a man because they need to financially live off of that man. They want to be in a situation where they want to be with a man because they love that man or because they want to be with him, not because they want to be with his pockets or his bank account.
And my grandfather, matter of fact, told me a long time ago. And he said that, you never should be with somebody who cannot hold their own as well. And it's not so much as that they can't hold their own, but if one person was to tragically something happen, then the other person is stuck because they depended on that other person their whole life.
Yeah.
Like when my grandfather passed away, he told my grandmother to never live alone. He wanted her to move on. And he knew it was coming because he know that she had got dependent on him. And the minute that he was not able to be there anymore, what was going to happen to her?
Yeah.
You can't be to the point to where, and I'm not saying not be madly in love with people. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about make sure that you can sustain. Because
that you can have a life after.
You can have a life after, because I've seen it with my aunties and a lot of older people.
That's how people die sad, bro. Like that's how people they just sad until they die. And like being sad like will kill you quicker than being happy, bro.
If you have nothing going on in your own life,
you're gonna die. Your death is gonna come so much quicker.
When your other half passes away, or if something tragedy was to happen to your other half, you're left with nothing. Then you have to struggle to figure out what's next, and that's a hard struggle,
especially at that age.
Oh my God, that's a hard struggle.
You have at that age, you have more time behind you than you do in front of you, and you spend so much of that time behind you being with what is no longer there, and you don't have as much time in front of you to figure out what's next as you did back then, because back when you were 20 or 30 and you found that person, you had a lot of time to think about things. Exactly. But now when that person goes, you could be in your 60s or 70s, whatever the case may be, you don't have as much time to figure stuff out. That's why you plan doesn't necessarily mean you have to be ready to move on from your partner when they go, but it's just like you should think about those things from time to time. You should think about what you would do after.
It's just like with my stepfather. My stepfather passed away one day, and he actually just collapsed in Lowe's.
Wow.
And he was the type that was always working on stuff, always fixing things. And, for him to go to Lowe's means he was feeling fine.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he would have went.
That's crazy. I mean? Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah.
You follow me? Yeah. He was always building. He could do anything. To me, he was like Superman. There's nothing he could not fix. You know what I mean? And he taught me how to do a lot of different things. So when I found out he passed away in Lowe's, I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Because I knew he had to be feeling okay.
Didn't think anything was going to happen.
Didn't think nothing was going to happen. If he went to Lowe's, he was going to get something to work on.
To do what was making him happy.
You know what I mean? So, it caught us like,
damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mom the same way. It just, my mom just happened to be a strong enough woman she struggles. She's struggling now. But she was able to bounce back and be able to continue because she was one of those type who already knew how to manage on her own.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're gonna be stuck.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't think people think about those things. So when you start talking about gender roles and stuff, I think it's important that both people play their role, understand their role, but work together and continuously build themselves throughout the process.
And make sure that you know what you want each other's role to be. That's something that's communication is the biggest thing in a relationship. Make sure when you get with somebody else that you actually know what you want each other's roles to be and what you want each other to be for each other, so that way there's no confusion and you can help each other fill that role. Because you might want somebody to fulfill a certain role in the household or in a relationship. That person might not have been doing that in the past before. Doesn't mean they won't try it for you.
Bingo.
But they might need help doing it because they've never done it before. So that's communication, man.
And that's big time what you just said. Say that last part again. They might need help doing it.
They might need help. You might get with somebody. It's very possible that you might want that person not necessarily to be a certain way. You're not trying to change who they are, but you might want them to serve a certain role in a relationship. Like, hey, I want you to hold the house down. You know, they might not have never held a house down before. They might have just been with a female who just, doesn't need that, doesn't require that. Doesn't mean that man is not willing to try and hold a house down for you, but he might need help. He's never done that before. So communicate. Make sure you help the other person out. Make sure you know what each other's roles are. And when you do that, it's going to be hard to not be happy with somebody.
I'm telling you, communication is key because I was in my last relationship with my ex. I remember a lot of times, that was the issue.
Communicating.
We weren't communicating, and we were expecting the other one to do something without that person knowing how to do it.
It's so frustrating. That's so frustrating, man, because it's you don't know what's right or wrong to the other person.
Bingo.
So you're gonna do stuff that's wrong without knowing that it feels wrong to the other person because you don't know what makes that person comfortable or uncomfortable because they don't communicate.
You going through the day thinking you're doing the right thing.
You could be completely frustrating the other person.
Completely frustrating the other person.
And that's kind of on them for not telling you.
Bingo.
That's on them for not telling you. Of course, you got to accept responsibility and be like, hey, my bad. But it's like at the same time, you got to let me know. If I know, then I won't do it. You know what I mean?
100%. So, once again, we want you guys to let us know what you guys think. Comment, give us your input.
Yes, sir.
Me and Cicero will be back with another M&O hot topic.
Yeah, been doing this for 2 years, don't tell me I'm impatient. Compare me to Ross and I'm LeBron of my generation. I'm only second to the MJ of my town. Purple rain weather, I'm the prince of the crown.